What's up, y'all? It is Tasha. We are back with another video. Before we get started and jump into decision day, finally, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. I can't believe we are finally at decision day for season 14 of Married at First Sight. Like, this last week felt like a vacation. I actually did not even end up watching whatever that special was. I couldn't do it. I just enjoyed being able to go to bed early and not have to deal with these people on my TV. I didn't know how much I enjoyed it until I had to watch them tonight. Y'all, there's still a few minutes left in the show. I don't even care at this point what is happening. We'll get the tea on the reunion next week. So let's just jump into the recap of decision day, y'all. So they show all the couples getting ready. Noi says, she thought a lot about all the things they need to work on. And, all that kind of still makes her nervous. Steve may think that Noi may get a little bit of cold feet now that she's had some time alone. Mike and Olajuwon say they're both nervous as they don't know what their decision is going to be. The experts talk about Michael and Jasmina first, and Dr. Viviana says she's surprised that they haven't had sex. I'm like, we are not sure why you're surprised. They are not, she isn't feeling him like that, okay? Pastor Cal thinks if she can just show interest and attraction, even just a little bit, that would help. And Dr. Pepper's just like, child, I don't know. But if they can be vulnerable and intimate with each other, I think they can be a good couple. Okay, girl. Michael says all these nice things about Jasmina, and they replay all of their situations throughout the season. The rocky start, her being real bossy, looked a little hopeless, but we know towards the end things turned around for them at the end of the experiment. Jasmina does the same, giving all these, sweet, genuine feelings about him, but says that, really the one thing that she had to say is that he doesn't like to be held accountable, but yet really the only situation she could bring up was the whole roommate thing. And I was like, girl, all the other things you've done, and we gonna keep talking about this one thing that happened within the first week of y'all being married? Cut it out, Jasmina. So Michael shows up in his cute little purple suit, which we know is his color because of his mom. And Jasmina has on this cute little orange sleeveless blazer type dress. I really am feeling it. They say the last few weeks have been good. And Michael says they have made a lot of progress because being vulnerable was not easy for him. And it was uncomfortable in the beginning, but he does not feel that way with her anymore. But the romance part and the physical intimacy of their relationship, which is a big elephant in the room, has been at a standstill. So he is like, are we working on a friendship here or are we working on a marriage? Jasmina says, they aren't kissing because she isn't there yet. And if she isn't feeling it, she just ain't feeling it, honey, okay? She says there were truly 2 times, if she was honest with herself, that she really wanted to get a divorce. Only 2, Jasmina? Okay. Pastor Cal tells her that every relationship can have a rocky start, but he has seen the changes between the 2 of them. Jasmina says she isn't sure if they will ever get to a romantic place, but she says, we did cuddle a little bit the other night, and Michael, he kind of put his hand kind of right on my butt, and she wasn't really sure how she felt about it. And Michael was like, I was totally, I was asleep, I was knocked out, I was dead, I didn't even know. And we just like, so, okay, did you enjoy it? Did you feel uncomfortable with his hand being there? Would you like him to do that more? Like, what is it, Jasmina? Michael says that, of course, because he was asleep, they brought it up the next day, and she brought it up the next day, but they didn't really talk about if it would be okay to do this again on purpose, since they don't really touch each other at all. They asked her if it would be okay, and she's like, that would be okay. And Mike is like, well, I wouldn't have known that. And I'm like, none of us would have known that, Jasmina, because you act like you don't want this man to touch you with a 10-foot pole. So let alone grab you on the bootay, okay? Pastor Cal says he thinks people have a separation between friends and spouse, and these relationships are not exclusive, and you can have, of course, a friendship within your spouse. So Dr. Pepper asks what their decisions are going to be, and Jasmina says, they've come a long way. She didn't think she would even want to be around him within, the last month of their marriage. But she still doesn't feel like she really knows him, but she wants to get to know him more and stay married. And I was completely shocked that she actually wanted to stay married, child. Like, wow, you don't like this man. He then tells her that he went into this marriage very seriously and he was going to put in 100% effort. And he has done everything he could. And he thinks, that she has as well. He says it terrifies him to keep thinking that they would never get there with the big elephant in the room, but he isn't ready to stop trying. He thinks that they really remove all the extras of the TV show, the cameras, and the production of it all, that they would be further along. So he decides he wants to stay married too. I'm like, well, okay then, y'all. Jasmine, let's give up the cookies then, girl, okay? And see where we go from here if you're going to stay with this man. Next up is our favorite couple, Katina and Olajuwon. Insert sarcasm. So the experts think, that this couple is getting in trouble, thinking about their future and not really living in the present. Dr. Viviana says she thinks, basically what Olajuwon does is just continue to test Katina. And then when she passes one, he throws another one at her. And she's afraid that she may end up just feeling stuck. And we all agree with you, Dr. Viviana. They replay their package as well, y'all. And I am not going to be going through all this with all these couples. We sat here through all these 100 episodes. We know what happened. We don't need to see it again, okay? We all know Olajuwon, wants what he wants. And there's really no pleasing him. Blah, blah, blah. Same old story. So Olajuwon shows up in his blue big boy suit. And Katina shows up still in his wig child, but just with a little bit of wave to it. And in her little light pink dress. He says it feels good to see her because, she always makes him smile. They talk about their fun times with the gondola ride and the animals and the tough times with the apps on a phone. And he said that, the whole app situation, it shows that she has a husband that really cares. What? How does that show she has a husband that cares? With a husband that's trying to be controlling and then essentially just cusses her out. If that's care, I don't want it, okay? He says the closeness between them has grown and their connection is real and they have strong chemistry. Dr. Viviana asks, how them holding off on physical intimacy has influenced them. He says he thinks it's helped them, but he knew she wanted it because, he would just let her look at him in the shower. It's my wife after all. She can just, boy. He truly thinks he is the prize, honey. Woo, child. He says he knows himself and he has to really care about her before touching her. And I am quite honestly rolling my eyes through all of this BS. Pastor Cal asks about their roles and Katina, of course, says, he is traditional. And he has to, of course, talk about eating and how Katina doesn't have the skill of cooking because she can't cook and her food is not edible. And Pastor Cal is like, please watch your words. And he's like, I said what I said. The food is not edible. Well, boy. Okay. He just doesn't stop. He says his feelings is just what his feelings are. And nobody can tell him how to feel. And I don't know about y'all, but I caught during this time, like when he started, like he came into the scene all, bubbly, kissy, wouldn't touch her, talk to her. And then it was like a shift happened. His whole demeanor changed. His face changed. Like it was a little bit scary to me, but maybe it was just me. I don't know. She says she doesn't need to cook every day. And I'm like, you don't. But essentially, when she is working full time, he needs to be able to pick up some of the slack. And he's like, well, I guess I'm a little bit more traditional than I thought. Yes, you are, sir, for whatever reason. So Katina goes first. And as she starts talking, his face just kind of goes cold to me. He kind of looks upset because we can tell she's about to say yes. And I feel like he was like, no, I want you to say no. Then I won't have to say no. But then she says, yes, she wants to stay married. Like an idiot, Katina. He says he asked for a woman who is more established in life. And this is the reason that he could say no today. I was like, look at this jerk. He about to continue to play mind games with her, ain't he? Okay. He says he loves their chemistry and he doesn't always, need to know what is next and what's ahead. And he thinks his dad has chosen this woman for him because actually decision day landed on his dad's birthday. Katina gives him a hug because he starts to cry and she whispers, why didn't you tell me? So he didn't even tell his wife that it was his dad's birthday. Like, how you be wanting her to open up and be vulnerable with you and you didn't even tell her this? Elijah, want to get out my face. Girl, he says there is no way to ignore her effort and he would rather have her than someone who has it all but does not show the effort. He says it means a lot that, he would continue to, he says that it means a lot and that he would continue with this marriage with her. And I'm just still again trying to figure out why she would stay with this gaslighting narcissist. Like how you don't see, I'm hoping once the reunion airs, and I'm not sure if by the time they taped the reunion, if they were able to watch the episode so that she can see how crazy she was looking, how he was talking to her, and then she reevaluate her decision. I don't know. But when it comes to the reunion, I do not want them to still be together because he continues to be a clown. Continues to be a clown. So 2 down, 2 to go, y'all. Next up is Noi and Steve. Noi shows up in her cute little one-shoulder pink dress. Steve shows up with flowers for all the ladies in his little like purple colored suit. They say it was hard being away from each other for the night. So leading up to the decision day, Steve said he has had a good feeling and it just feels right. She says that he is wonderful at comforting her when she is upset, even though it's not a pleasant time for him. And she does feel safe when she is with him. She cries, child. All the experts start crying. He gives her a hug. And she said that just means a lot because she has not felt safe in past relationships to open up the way she has with Steve because he does not judge her. She says that they still have things they need to work out, such as, things in the house, because, of course, she don't want to do no housework, although they have all these other similarities that seem to be a big issue for her. She says contributing to things in the house will never be 50-50. And I'm like, kind of Noi, you right. But also, it sounds like you're using that as a cop-out a little bit of, it'll never be 50-50, so just let me do what I want to do, and you just do it all, is what I was getting from her, okay? Stop being lazy. Steve says he just needs the balance because he doesn't want to feel like he is doing everything. He says if this is how things are now, what happens when we have children and there are more tasks and he has to take on the bulk of it? Steve is speaking nothing but straight facts because then she's going to say she's tired from the kids. It's why she can't help do nothing. Let's be real here, people. Pastor Cal asked if it hurt his feelings when she kept talking about him not having a job. And he said it just didn't sit right with him because it makes him feel incapable. And I'm like, well, Steve, we know you probably are not incapable. But again, she has not seen your capabilities. So therefore, you cannot fault her for saying that, okay? Anyway, it is decision time for them, and Steve says yes, he wants to stay married, and Noi says yes after the dramatics of it all, child. So shockingly at this point, we are 3 for 3, and I was not expecting this at this point, but here comes the wild card of Mark and Lindsay, and I was not sure how they were going to go, but let's go ahead and recap it. But I also felt in this moment so far, we just had a bunch of Jose's. Of everything's been great. We can work on it. We can fix it. It's been amazing. So let's stay married. That's what I feel is happening. So Mark comes in his little blue suit. So I'm like, I guess the theme for the men was blue or purple. They feel like those colors are not as abrasive and negative. Maybe a black or a gray. So I get it. So Lindsay comes in and she's dressed like she's chaperoning the prom child. Mark says that the last 2 weeks have been pretty healthy. And I'm like, so only the last 2 out of 8? Okay. And then Lindsay says, hold my beer, because really only the last week has been good for me. And I'm like, well, okay, that means these people are going to say no. They're not going to stick with this because that means, more than 80% of this marriage has been bad. So why would we stay married, right? Okay, maybe, but okay. So then Lindsay says the best times are when they were just, being really stupid with each other. And then she goes and does this, 5-minute creepy ass laugh that y'all know that she does. Then she goes to start telling us that he posts on social media and she thinks that it's too much. And she's like, when you post things about me, I guess he's doing these subliminal messages. I don't know. But she's like, you need to know it's 100% always going to end up in my hands. And I was just like, okay. But since when did, Mark start having an issue with social media? I feel like she's brought up him being on his phone. But all of a sudden she's like, I think social media is immature. I think it's just, so immature to be posting selfies and using filters. Lizzie, how are you 95 years old? How old are you? Like, girl, cut it out. But, Mark says he likes to use social media for, building, relationships and all this good stuff. And she's just like, I think it's just attention seeking. So therefore, I don't like it. Lindsay, cut it out. Like, you doing team too much at this point. So it's time for their decision, and Mark goes first and says he wouldn't have grown this much in these 8 weeks if, she had not been chosen to be the wife for him. So he ends up saying yes, he wants to stay married. Next is her turn, and she pulls out a button out of the pocket of her dress and says, although he may not have been everything she asked for, she presses this little green button and it says, yes, 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 yes. Get out of my face with this. How y'all gonna just tell us that only, 10 to 20% of this marriage so far has been good, but we both want to stay married? How's it gonna improve? What's gonna change to make it be better going forward? Okay. Oh God, I can't even believe all these couples have said yes. The delusion that is happening here is just unbelievable at this point, y'all. But anyway, it's one day after decision day and all the couples start packing up their apartments. Child, they show Olajuwon and Katina. I don't even care what Olajuwon have to say because we know it's all lies coming out of his mouth. Noe asked Steve if he, wants to get his apartment wife ready, and I'm like, child, neither one of y'all apartments were really ready for somebody else to move into it, but okay, if you want to do that. Michael and Jasmina says they aren't moving in together right away, and my immediate thought is this is a whole setup because y'all were already on a struggle bus, so now y'all not gonna move in together. So how are y'all supposed to move beyond the point that y'all are at right now if y'all don't live in the same place? Okay, so, and then Mark and Lindsay look to be moving into his grandmother's, his mom's place, whatever the place was, because he gave her the keys to it. So she'll be renovating that, I guess. So then all the couples meet up to share their decision, and Chris and the unbearable Alyssa actually show up. And I really did not miss seeing this troll on my TV, y'all. Like, immediately when I saw her, I think I got a little bit of PTSD, and I was like, why is her pale face on my screen once again? I thought we were done with this, honey. Oh my God. We really could have done without her. Like, we are not interested, nor do we care what is going on with Alyssa at this point. We don't Married at First Sight. But Chris lets us know that things have been going good with him and he is dating. And I'm like, yes, go Chris. And immediately they show Alyssa and she is a little hot in the face because I'm sure she was like, he's not supposed to be happy without me because, I didn't want to be with him. So he should be miserable for the rest of his life. And he's not. Okay, girl. Olajuwon has to tell us that, he had to be a husband after decision day and they finally got it in. And she said it was worth the wait, child. I said, well, I guess so. And I would hope so at this point, Katina. Whatever, girl. Lindsay does her annoying laugh that she always does and, lets the people know that they still are together. And then, of course, Jasmina and Mike and Steve and Noe share that they are still together as well. So that is the decision for this time. Basically, they had 4 for 4 because I don't even count Chris and Alyssa as, being one of the couples because they lasted less than a week. So, y'all not even in the running. So if these people actually end up staying married, this will be the most successful season of Married at First Sight yet. I don't think all these people are going to stay married, so I'm not going to be jumping the gun on that. But, we'll see what happens at the reunion, next week, y'all. We'll see if I'm going to review. I hope to come back into review it. I hope it's easy to flow, and I hope it's not just something that's dragged out because I believe it is 2 episodes and I'm just like, we did decision day in 1 episode. Why we just can't have 1 reunion, y'all? Like, this is too much. But Married at First Sight gonna drag out as much ad revenue as they can from these commercials, okay? But let me know y'all thoughts on decision day below. Were you right? I was completely wrong because I just knew somebody from each couple was going to say no. I hope that they had all said no so that they can do some more personal work on themselves. But hey, here we are with 4 yeses and I'm not here for it. I ain't even gonna lie. These people gonna crash and burn, y'all. But let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section below. And I guess we'll chat again if the reunion is hitting for something next week. Okay? Peace.